Hi there, I'm Alex from Southern Ukulele Store, and this week we're going to take a very special look at 10 concert ukuleles. My mission today is to make the concert ukulele cool. Now, some of you are probably watching this video going, the concert ukulele's always been cool. Well, I'm not saying it hasn't been. What I am saying is that in more recent times, the last 5-6 years, the tenor ukulele and actually even the baritone ukuleles have been the more prominently featured ukes on this channel, but also the ukuleles that people walking in the shop, ringing up or ordering on the website are ordering most of the time. The concert ukulele, when I started here way back in 2008, 2009, that was the size. That was the size that manufacturers put all of their time and effort into making the perfect uke for. So you have a wide range of ukuleles in the concert size, but they aren't necessarily featured as much as we feature tenors. Got it? Concert was always cool, folks, don't worry, but today we're going to give it a bit more of a spotlight feature on the channel. So I've got 10 concerts ranging in price from probably about £200 up to about £2,000. Everything from blue mahogany to koa to ecoa. So stick around and let's begin. The first ukulele I want to feature today is the AnueNue UC10 SCP in blue. This ukulele comes in a natural and a black variation. The black variation is actually pretty much a translucent brown, but the blue one is the one that most people ask us about. And much like the AnueNue ukuleles we see at this price point, the blue does vary. Sometimes it's a very deep royal blue. Sometimes it looks as if the clear coat gloss has yellowed slightly, so they have a slightly greenish look under certain lights. But they are still extremely cool. This is solid mahogany, top, back and sides with a very, very subtle abalone rosette. A mahogany neck going up to this slotted headstock with the open gear tuners. The nut width on the AnueNue is 35mm, so slightly narrower nut than some of the ukes we're going to look at today, but it does feel quite chunky in the hand. The shape of the neck is a very pronounced, very prominent C shape. It's a very comfortable ukulele, comes with a bag, and it's at a price point that most people can afford. I'm going to give the UK20 SCP in blue a play and see what you think. Next up today, we're taking a look at the SNAIL S60C. This ukulele was once voted the top ukulele of the year by us here at SUS with good reason. It does something stylistically that nothing else we have in the shop does. It looks almost as if it's washed up on the beach in Honolulu. It's been picked up by some kind of crustacean as its shell. And it has the island sound, it has that appeal. It's very sexy wood with a very cool, unique rosette. Solid acacia. SNAIL like to say it's flamed acacia. It's definitely a good quality, highly figured acacia every single time, hence why we individually list them. You have the shell rosette, which is bound there with some yellow and red plastic, going up to an ebony fingerboard with a slotted headstock. You have the heart-shaped tuners. I really love these open gear tuners with the amber buttons. It's a 35mm nut. One point that I should mention is the fingerboard is bound, so actually it's really nice. You can see the dots, even in a dark room, the dots are almost illuminated by the Paduke red binding behind them. And then you have front and back binding too. One thing we should say about the SNAILs is that they have a string-through bridge. It's becoming more popular, but some people get a bit flummoxed when they see it. The way you would restring this ukulele is feed the string through the hole, pull it out the sound hole, tie a little knot in it, and then pull it back and the knot would secure it to the underside of the top. It looks fiddly. It is a bit fiddlier than some of the other designs, but it does mean that the string is actually touching the top of the instrument, which helps it resonate. And I think that that innovation is part of the reason that instruments that are slightly more affordable now sound better than they did 10 years ago, because they're not relying on basically a piece of wood at the bridge with strings tied round to make it sound good. Anyway, I digress. You also have an armrest, an ebony armrest on this ukulele for comfort. So when you're at the pub, you do the old finger guns at your friend across the room. Yeah, a great ukulele, worthy Uke of the Year back in 2019. This is the SNAIL S60C. Next up today, we're going to take a look at the AnueNue Colour Series. This is the UC10. The Colour Series ukuleles all take Pantone colours and make a themed ukulele around them. The idea being that you could get this ukulele in this colour, and then you could paint your dungeon this colour too. They do come in a wide array of colours, from blacks to whites to reds, and everything you can imagine really. AnueNue have done either a production run of these or special editions. For that reason, there's usually a £10 difference between the special edition colours and the production colours. Don't ask me why I didn't decide that, but it makes sense, I suppose. You have this one in ice green, which has a maple fingerboard, mahogany neck with a maple fingerboard, which is a softer feeling wood. So it's a really nice, very gentle ukulele to hold this when you play it. A maple bridge as well, which definitely has an effect on the tone. Solid spruce top with laminate mahogany back and sides, and it's bound in maple, so you have front and back maple binding. You also have a pick guard. This seems to be the thing that people either love or hate about this ukulele. It's hard to remove the pick guard, but it can be done if you are willing to spend a couple of hours kind of peeling away the glue underneath. I've not seen an example yet where someone's taken it off and the colour underneath has been stained or the glue has damaged the top. It's just something that takes a really long time to do. You have a paddle style headstock with the AnueNue logo, with open gear tuners with white buttons. I love white buttons. Finally, these ukuleles come with a very cool padded gig bag. It's almost a tweedy gig bag. There's nothing not to love about them. Let's give the UC10 a play and see what you think. Next up today, we're going to take a look at the very sexy Ohana CK-220G. This ukulele is in this video because a few weeks ago I featured the tenor version, and of all the ukuleles I featured in the video, it's the one that I had the most questions about. It's the one that people really seemed to resonate with. I say that as it's resonating right next to me from where I've accidentally tapped it. This is all solid mango. Ohana have got access to some really nice mango, it seems. These ukuleles have depth. They look four-dimensional. They even smell good. You have front and back binding, with the front having a more regal, traditional kind of style 3, a Hawaiian front binding and a front rosette made of abalone. You have a rosewood fingerboard and bridge going up to the Ohana headstock, which is also bound in abalone, or kind of has an abalone trim, with open gear tuners. This ukulele has a 35mm nut width, but what I really like about it is the shape of the neck. The shape of Ohana necks is much like an old Martin, slightly more traditional. They almost have a point to them at the end. If you imagine we're doing a kind of U shape, but there's just this little bit, it's just a little bit flat, and then it goes back round. That's what we have here. This is the CK-220G. Let's give it a play and see what you think. always get it right, I'm sorry. Next up today we have the Flight Peter Moss concert. Peter Moss, possibly one of the most influential concert players in the world today. Actually, at the time of filming, it's April 2023. We do have Peter Moss visiting the shop. There's a workshop link in the description below. But who is Peter Moss and what does he do? Peter Moss is a very smiley ukulele man. That's all I can say. It's very good, very fast, lots of tricks, lots of tips. And his ukulele resembles him. It's got some kind of traditional vibes to it, but it's also nice and extrovert and quirky with its ghost sunburst finish. It's solid spruce with solid mahogany, cream binding on the front and back with a simple abalone rosette. You have the scoop cutaway for upper fret access with a gloss finish on the body but a satin neck, a 36mm nut width. It's one of the few ukuleles coming strung with Worth Browns from the factory, which I think is a great string combination for this ukulele. You have the Flight Classic headstock, which is a slotted headstock that the camera hates because it looks like my beard and my mouth come through the slot. Blah, blah, blah. You have the black open gear tuners. It's a great ukulele, comes in a gig bag. It's a professional level uke, also has a pickup. The volume and tone are just tucked away in the sound hole. You'd never know that they were there otherwise, and that connects to an N-pin socket. Let's give the Peter Moss play and see what you think. Next up today we have the AnueNue UC1K. The UC1K is AA koa, so solid Hawaiian koa, AA grade on the front, back and sides. Always really nice whiskey barrel type koa, as I like to call it. You have the bird maple rosette there, which is a figured piece of spalted maple. You have an ebony fingerboard going up to the AnueNue headstock with the Goto planetary tuners going through the back. So these are geared friction tuners. They look like friction tuners, but they act like geared tuners. The UC1K is the most affordable of the Bird series AnueNue ukuleles, and it's just a great koa concert uke with a cutaway. Nice and rare, you don't see many of them. Let's give it a play and see what you think. Next up today, we have one of my favourite ukes in the shop right now. This is the Millar MG-240. This ukulele is a satin solid mango concert uke from Millar. Millar makes some of the best concert ukes in the world. I think that's his specialist size, that and long neck sopranos. There's just something about those two sizes from Millar that make sense proportionately, tonally. They're big sounding, but they sound traditional and sweet at the same time. And there's something about the satin finishes as well. You know, the mango is deep. Normally you would pair the mango with a gloss finish because visually it's very striking and the gloss will accentuate the look. But sound wise, gloss hardens everything up so it can make things sound a bit brighter than they would with a satin finish. And the mango on this paired with a satin finish just makes for the deepest, darkest, concert sound you could possibly imagine. Also, look how good the mango is on this particular ukulele. I'll put a link in the description for this exact ukulele. It's a really figured piece of mango, and when you consider this is about the same kind of money as a Flight Fireball, I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. If you don't know much about Millar, it's a family business. You have the main luthier, but you also have his mum and dad helping with things like finishing and final assembly. It's a family affair in every sense of the word. The MG-240 is, I think, one of only 2 pieces made at the present, the other one being at our friend World of Ukes. Just a great uke, abalone rosette, rosewood fingerboard and bridge with a 35mm nut width, and even the head plate on this ukulele is just so sexy with that figured mango. And one of my favourite logos in the business, the Millar logo. Let's give the MG-240 a play and see what you think. Such a good sound, you. Next up today, we're going to take a look at another Millar. This is at the request of a customer that's asked me about this in the emails overnight. I figure I'm making a concert video, so why not feature this uke? This is the Millar TK-240W. This ukulele is made of Taiwanese cypress along with Pau Ferro back and sides, also known as Bolivian rosewood. A really great combination because the cypress is almost cedar and the Bolivian rosewood is almost rosewood, Indian rosewood. So what you're getting is a classical guitar combination but with a slight twist. This looks nothing like cedar when you get up close. The wood is almost wavy. It's kind of like somebody's painting cedar. You know, it's like somebody's painting a cedar ukulele and they put some artistic brushstrokes into the wood pattern. You have rope binding based on the early ukuleles, you know, the Hawaiian port ukuleles of the 1800s. You have here a mixture of maple and rosewood bound all the way around on the front and the rosette. You have a tie-on bridge, a gloss finish for the body, a gloss finish for the neck, all the way up to a bound head plate as well with the Millar logo and gold open gear tuners. I very nearly bought one of these. This was one of the first Millars I ever saw. Back when Matt at World of Ukes began selling Millar, he sent me a message saying to me, these ukes are really special. I really want to send you one down to play and give a go. He sent me the SP240, which is the spruce top version of a spruce top concert. But I very, very nearly went for one of these. And when I played the sound sample for this ukulele earlier, before I filmed it, I just remember thinking, why didn't I take one of them home instead? Such a good uke. Let's give it a play and see what you think. Last up today, we're going to take a look at a Blackbird Clara. It's been a while. I haven't featured the Clara as much in recent years. They are made very, very slowly in small numbers in a very special workshop in San Francisco. This ukulele is made of e-koa, which is a material made by using plant fibers and resin. The instruments are basically baked and, like a cake, left on a windowsill for a few days until they cool down, and then they are just divine. They're perfect. Based on a traditional pineapple shape with the offset sound hole, this ukulele is molded, and I'm not sure if this is still the case, but there's a fantastic video that I'll link to in the description where Blackbird detail how they make their instruments. They make some great guitars as well, but the Clara and the Farallon, which is the tenor ukulele they produce, completely unique. There's nothing else like them out there. They have a rich light fingerboard and bridge, so a synthetic material fingerboard and bridge with Goto planetary tuners. They feel so lightweight and so resonant, and part of their secret is that the neck is hollow. You actually have a point here on the neck where you can kind of go in and you can't see all the way straight through. That would be amazing, but the neck is hollow and it creates this really resonant full sound, and when you play them the instruments vibrate against you so much more than your average ukulele, not in a way that it detracts away from the experience. It's just there's something very calming about playing a Blackbird ukulele, and I know that sounds like the most salesman thing to say ever, but ask someone who owns a Blackbird uke. There's no one out there that's ever bought one and gone, God, this ukulele's rubbish. They are just so good. If I had to find something to say about them that wasn't wholly flattering, it's that actually when you look up close at the material, it has almost like a webbed, lined look to it up close. I'll try and do some good close-ups. And sometimes the back, you can almost see stray fibres that are under the finish. Like they're always under the finish, but one of these never looks cosmetically completely homogenized, even though they're made in a very quite a soulful way. Just one last heads up before I play it for you. This ukulele comes from the factory strung with a low G, so it is going to sound different to the other concerts we play today. I highly recommend, if you do go for a Blackbird, keeping it in low G, but plenty of people play them high G and enjoy them all the same. So let's give this Clara a play and see what you think. Well, there you have it, folks. We've taken a look at 10 concert ukuleles. Which do you like? Which don't you like? Let us know in the comment section. If you have any questions, you can contact the team on 01202 430 820 or email me at alex@ukulele.co.uk. All of these ukuleles will be in the video description. And if there's something on the website right now that you can't see a video for, or something that you haven't seen featured recently you'd love to see featured again, please do let me know in the comment section. I'm absolutely open to working with you on showing you the ukes that we have as and when you need to see them. Please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you again very soon.